The Dallas Cowboys ain't gonna lose another game. And they still gonna miss the playoffs.
I knew it was coming.
And they still gonna miss the playoffs.
That would be so good to you, huh?
And I'm just, I'm just saying, they just don't let me down. I mean, when I think about the holiday season, and when I think about things that I want to rely upon,
Who are the best gift givers?
One of the greatest gift givers is the Dallas Cowboys. They never let me down, man.
What is happening, my YT Gizang? Y'all already know what it is, man. This is your boy Rio, and welcome if y'all are new to the channel. Now, I know y'all see me with this Georgia gear on. Of course, we made it to the SEC Championship. Y'all already know I'm a Georgia boy through and through, man. And we gonna take this dub. Don't even throw no hate. I don't even want to hear it in the comments. But way, on to the video, man. As you guys saw, my boy Stephen A. Smith just straight up clowned the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we all know after taking this L to the Detroit Lions that they took on Thursday, bro, their chances of getting to the playoffs is slim to none. All right. I think they got an 8% chance to win or make it to the playoffs. My goodness. And at this point, y'all already know Stephen A. Smith, man. He don't even like the Cowboys. So he having a field day on them boys. Plus, at the same time, he's also having a conversation about George Pickens and the way he performed in that game. And we finna talk all about that today. So just sit back and relax, man. And let's get into the videos. Take a look.
But you know something? I mean, I got it, RC, and I understand it. But you know what it was really about? It was about the Cowboys being the Cowboys. That's what this is about. Okay, we can't deny it. We can't deny it. I understand Jameson Williams did his thing. I understand Jameer Gibbs did his thing. I get all of that. I also understand that Quinnen Williams had the Cowboys defense looking formidable, right? Right. What happened last night? 44 points, a season worst. 400 yards of offense. They've surrendered for the 5th time this season. They're 1-3-1 in those games. Why do I bring this up? Because the Cowboys were trending. And right around the time expectations were attached to it because they've been looking. I mean, you can't make it up, man. I mean, they are the gift that keeps on giving. Right around Christmas time. What I say, Cam? How many times I said, what did I say, RC? I said right around Christmas time. Now, I understand I picked them. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was anticipating a loss would come a little bit later, right? When expectations would climb a little bit. They didn't wait, but that's okay. They waited long enough. They waited till December to do this, okay? Right when you expected them to ascend, all of a sudden, a game like that happens last night. Yeah. This is who they are. This is what they do. And let me tell you something right now. With Eberflus, with Brian Schottenheimer, who I like. Who I like. Yeah. We thought we were seeing something different.
Now, at the end of the day, man, it's the Dallas Cowboys, all right? They do this every single year. And even if they make it to the playoffs, bro, they gonna do the same thing every single year. Now, I know everybody was hyped up about them. We seen they got my boy George Pickens. We saw that, you know, they stepped up on the defense. They started making some moves, making some adjustments to get better defensive players in, and they started to look better. All right. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I said it myself. They look pretty good. But it's just something about the end of the season, and it's something about the postseason. They just don't know how to finish. And that's just been the Dallas Cowboys way, man, for decades. And that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. I think, you know, honestly, I will say they are moving into the right direction. I would say that, honestly, because they do look better, all right? And I can't just sit here and base it off the Detroit Lions loss, because at the end of the day, bro, it's the Detroit Lions, bro. All right. These guys are superb when it comes to their offense. They got one of the hottest offenses in the NFL. I mean, they got one of the best defenses too. Because let's be real, bro. Looking at that game at the beginning, it looked like it was going to be over with quick, fast, in a hurry. But they crawled their way back into it. And then CeeDee Lamb went down, you know, and they came up with an L. But we can't look past the wins that they have gotten, like against the Eagles, against all those other teams that they played well and got the dub with. So, you know, they're in the right direction. They're going towards the right direction. But when it comes to George Pickens, this is the topic of discussion, bro, because at the end of the day, when you look at his performance and how he performed once CeeDee Lamb went down, bro, it's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. He's shown that all year long. He's shown that. He's a very good receiver. He's capable of being probably one of the best receivers in the NFL. Possibly. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a #1 receiver. But at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, him playing under CeeDee Lamb is very complimentary to his style of play. And that's why he looks so good. Now, I do want to show you this video of what Stephen A. Smith had to say about George Pickens, because Cam Newton, he had a take and he was pretty much defending George Pickens' honor. And he was pretty much trying to say, you know, what we looking at on TV is different from what is happening on tape. And he was pretty much trying to say George Pickens was, you know, it may look lazy to us, but at the end of the day, he was baiting the defense or whatever the case may be. And Stephen A., he just wasn't going for it. Take a look at the video.
I'm not going for that, Cam. And let me tell you something right now. You can have your opinion and you're entitled to it, and I respect that. But football people are saying this. There is a debate within the football world amongst football minds who have played and who have been executives in the sport, who are going back and forth talking about what they saw in terms of the effort. So it's a job of somebody like me and others who haven't played but have been reporters and covered these sports to go to people like y'all and say, what did we see?
Yeah.
What did we see? Now, if it's a bunch of reporters saying that, I'm with you. No problem. But you know what? I was watching television all morning. And when I was in my car, I was listening to radio all morning. And it wasn't nothing but football people talking. And everybody was talking about, you can't do that. You got to show more effort than that. Nobody said he wasn't a number one receiver. Matter of fact, they were saying he
Definitely
was.
number one.
They were saying he's definitely a number one receiver. They were saying he's definitely an elite talent. You know what? Me and Swagoo was interviewing him when we were in Dallas. Had a blast talking to him. I'm rooting for the brother. Want him to get his bag. I'm saying when you know that you're trying to get your bag, you can't put yourself in that position. I get what you're talking about schematically, Cam. I get that part. But the point is, when you are doing your route running and they start bringing up names of the greats and they start saying they didn't do that, they didn't do that. I saw Louis Riddick this morning bring up the words, football character. That's what we're talking about. And that is what George Lynch has to be mindful of. Those are not my words, Pickens, I'm sorry, George Pickens. That is not my words. That is Louis Riddick's words.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I agree. And I don't want to talk down on George Pickens because that's my dog. You know, he's a Georgia boy. You know what I'm saying? He went to Georgia. So I support him fully, wholeheartedly. But that's unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. And we can't just be like, oh, well, he's been playing good all year long. Your number one receiver went down. At that point, you're supposed to turn into a dog. You got to turn into a dog. You're playing for a contract. Whether we want to agree to it or not, we all know that he is playing for a contract. So at that point, that was his moment to go out there and prove to everybody why he is that guy and why he deserves any type of money that he asked for the next year. But he didn't. He looked lackadaisy, bro. That's just what it is. And you know, this is a habit that we see from him every single year. Every single year. He just, I don't know, he just take off on plays, man. And it's not going, it just don't look good. You can't be in the conversation of being the best of the best in the NFL. Don't know if he even want to be in that conversation. It don't seem like it. But you can't be in that conversation and you can't talk about making a lot of money, man, if you performing like this. If you going half-ass like this, it's not good enough. It's just not, you know. And I hope he do better in the future, bro, because he is a very good quarterback, bro. He is a promising, quarterback. He is a promising receiver, a very good receiver. And I just want him to do so well, man, especially coming out of Georgia. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this whole situation, man. I got to get up out of here. I got a game to go to. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to get at y'all on the next one.